Hey guys, Chinlocks here, back with our semi-blind playthrough of Morrowind. Last time, I don't quite remember, but oh, that's the Scadian Isles. We decided to go to Pelagiad to try and figure out what's going on with this bandit that the girl likes. Right, so we're gonna ask around about this person.
Go ahead.
Come on, I haven't got all day, you know.
Let's see. Pelagiad. The Empire built a little fort here to guard the roads between Vivek, Seyda-Neen, Balmora, and points north, and then some veterans took their mustering out pay and built themselves some little farms here. Pretty soon there's a few shops and a trade house. It's a pleasant little village. If you didn't know better, you'd think you were in Daggerfall or some other high rock town. Okay. Well, we have a lot of options. Is Nellis Onmar the guy? Nellis Onmar? I've seen him around here. Quiet man, keeps to himself, not too sure what he does actually. Other folks might know more than I do though. Might check in the tavern. They get all sorts of folks there. Cool. Well. Firemoth. Pelagiad's Imperial Cult Shrine is in Fort Pelagiad at the eastern end of the main street. Altar there cures disease and poison. And Yigfa, the healer, sells cure potions. Right on. Okay. And how do you think it was that the bloated Imperial plutocrats got the charter to exploit the Caldera ebony deposits, and not a native great house or a local colonist? Big fat bribes, I tell you, and friends in high places. Orcs must die. That's an okay game. Let's see. Okay, Daedra, you know what they are, right? Well, Daedric shrines are where Daedric cults worship Daedra. Bad people who summon bad Daedra. Stay away from them. Why? Because Daedra are nasty, and the folks that worship them are even nastier. You're not wrong. I mean, that's something that I felt was kind of lost in, maybe Oblivion and not Morrowind, Skyrim. It's like you went up to one of these things and they're just like, oh, okay, well, hey, bring us an offering. You're like, all right, and then they're like, do this thing. It's just another quest. It doesn't really feel, you know? Okay. Though some Dunmer are Imperial cult initiates, most of them are also members of the Tribunal Temple. Religious fervor is exceptional in the Empire, compared with Morrowind's more passionate temple worshippers. And Dunmer who adopt the Imperial cult often share the moderation and religious tolerance of Imperial culture. In the Empire, necromancers and vampires are widely confused in the public mind and persecuted, but in remote locations, necromancers are usually free to pursue their studies without legal interference. We've asked about him. Go to the tavern. Nerevarine. It's the reincarnation of some dark elven hero supposed to come and drive the Empire out of Morrowind. Just some local superstition, but the temple says it's wicked and evil. You'll be very sorry if you talk about it with priests and the temple guard. Yep. Preserve the peace. Abolitionists fight slavery by helping slaves escape their masters in defiance of imperial law. Huh. Let's see. Alright, so let's check. What do we... I mean, I guess we should just run around, right? We have a well.
What was that?
Can we go in there? Little walls. Yeah, you'd think this whole area would be surrounded by walls, because that's kind of how... Especially if monsters just kind of wander in, you know what I mean? Lock level 30. What is this area? Okay. And here's the fort. There's a door over there. Should we just run around the whole outside of this thing? Why not? Yeah, the pop-in's a little... I mean, you know. Oh, is that one of those Quama things? Part of me is like, fight. Let's go. Random fire, okay. Yeah, part of me is like, let's go fight it, but... You know, at the same time, the other part is like, Okay. Erval. Yeah, see, again, stuff like this is part of the reason it took me 50 hours to get just to freaking Balmora, because I was like, let's go into his house, let's talk to him, let's go into that house, let's go over here, let's go into that house, let's talk to her. You know, it's like, I talked to everybody. I poked my nose into everything, but you can't. It's a world, you know? All right, athletics. Is this a tavern? Yes. Athletic skill has increased. What else do we have? Trader, armor. Well, let's... I don't like this big open space in the middle. Okay. Guard tower. Then the actual... You know, and supposedly in there there's a shrine. Oh, there's a Nord guy.
Don't stand about.
Okay, well... We gotta talk to him because he's a Nord. I'm Kunthar, barbarian. Yeah, I know, I'm an archer. I'm probably like the outcast of the Nords. Okay. The Legion in Nisus is orcs mostly, but word is they're recruiting for anyone over there. Oh. I wonder if I have to... I wonder if I can join the Legion in Fort Moonmoth. Thinking of setting yourself up as a mercenary or a questing hero? Not much call for that around here. Rats and the occasional bandit are our only problems. Nord, yep. Checking the tavern. I'm a barbarian. Services. Let's see. Mebestine Ent, the Breton. He's a trader, deals in a bit of everything. Ularinil is a high elf and fair smith. Shadback Graburbug is the smith at Fort Pelagiad and a orc. You can tell by the last name. The Imperial Cult Shrine is at Fort Pelagiad with a healing altar. And Yegfa the healer sells cure potions. Ladia Flarogrius and Anasi are trainers. You could usually find them at the Halfway Tavern. Yeah, so basically he was talking about the questing hero or the mercenary. There's not much... means there's not a lot of quests. Probably, you know, zero. Probably zero aside from the one that we're on now. Angaril of Vulkelgard is the boss of Fort Pelagiad. Dralasa Ramathran is the publican of the halfway trade house. Nobody else important I can think of, and if you're looking for someone in jail, you need to look in the fort, of course. Looking for someone in jail. I guess we're gonna have a quest regarding that. Pelagiad is a small place, just the halfway trade house, a couple of merchants, a few colonists, and Fort Pelagiad. Most of us are outlanders, colonists from the Empire, adventurers looking for a fortune. To the west of town, roads lead southwest to Sedanin, south to Ebonheart, southeast through the Ascadian Isles to Vivek, and north to Palmora. We have no travel services, but walking is good exercise. Yeah, they don't even have a silt strider. Fair enough, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Yep, yeah. Alright, so we are looking for... this dude, maybe? Nope. Do you want to... is it a girl? What? Yakum, me? Speak Ashland, not speak so good old elf. Sorry. Huh. Oh, okay. So he's an Ashlander. I mean, that's what he kind of said. I'm Yakum Her Shashishi. Rogue. A rumor says the Emperor has repealed the war tax. We've heard nothing official here, but it's about damn time. We haven't had a war in 10 years. Okay. I am a lovable rogue, a silver-tongued devil with a taste for the better things in life. But lovable as I am, some people get upset with me, and so I must fight. Purely in self-defense, you understand. I like light armor and short blades for self-defense. Heavy armor and heavy weapons just tire you out. Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing a bunch of heavy armor now, but I'd probably prefer to switch to medium. Because medium is heavy. It takes up it just weighs more as far as like my inventory. But when I train with various different weapon types and armor types, so I can improvise when the situation demands it. Fair enough. He's here in the tavern somewhere. Check over by the bar. Okay. The Thieves Guild doesn't have public guild halls, but they do tend to gather at a single location, usually a corner club or trade house in larger towns. Look for guild operatives in Balmora, Aldrune, Cedrith Mora, and the foreign quarter of Vivek. Nice. Thanks for the tip. Okay. Well, let me go down here. This is where all the beer is. See, you have a shield. I should probably get one. All right.
Sorry, stranger. My time is short, so get on with it.
What are you... What the heck is that on your chest? Okay, background sorcerer. Things are pretty tame hereabouts, but get off the roads and head northwest into the Bitter Coast or northeast into the Ashlanders. Things get a lot more interesting in a hurry. How do you recognize a Daedric Shrine? Well, they've got long, funny names like Ashern Bibi or Zain Tiaris. Some are well-known sites like Ald Sotha and Balfell, and stone and architecture is unmistakable. Big, dark, gray-green stone ruins, funny angles, funny markings and patterns on the stone, weird oval crooked doors, and inside all funny angles. So they're mostly inside. Yeah, that's different than... well, I guess anything past this, or Oblivion and Skyrim, they seem to all be outside. Oh. Yeah, Mage's Guild. Tribunal Temple is at war with a rebellious faction called the Dissident Priests. Currently. I'm a sorcerer through my mastery of special disciplines at the College of Conjuration and my private studies of the Outer Realms and their powers and principalities. I've learned to summon and command their denizens to do my bidding. I do these things for my coin or to suit my own interests. I also am an enchanter, enchanting items for my own use and for the use of others. My skill with enchantments also makes me more efficient in using enchanted items that I collect on my research expeditions. Oh. Interesting. And they say the Thieves Guild has some people in Pelagiad, but why would I know anything about that? Interesting. Okay. You're probably a Thieves Guild member.
Probably nothing.
And that's the one. Anasi hears you. Anasi is in the guild. Yes. Monk. Ah, price on your head. Well, I don't have one at the moment. Yep. Okay. Soul's time. Any jobs or leads for me, Toad? No. Why would I have jobs or leads for you? Acrobatic sneak hand to hand. Hey, we have 1,000 gold. That's cool. Do you want to talk to you? Food and beds, or both at the same time. Haha, your choice. You're probably not super hound meat. Grave dust. Green lichen. You have some gold, but not, You're looking for flowers, right? We'll cancel. Do we want to talk to you? Publican. No. That's okay. Okay, just asking if you change your mind. We've got local fare, it's filling in price to move. We've got the local brews, Grief, Shine, Matzi, and Sujamma. They're cheap and full of kick. I've got the good stuff too behind the counter. Cyrodiilic, Brandy, and Flynn, but it ain't cheap. Okay, well. Imported Cyrodiilic whiskey is called Flynn. The stimulating beverage is imported and expensive, but has none of the unpleasant side effects of other intoxicating beverages. A sharp boost in strength and willpower is what most people experience. Native Comberry brandy is locally called Grief. Grief is a strong stimulant, but like all intoxicants, it tends to impair physical coordination. That is, it makes you feel real strong, but makes you clumsy. Okay. Rumor says the Emperor has repealed the war tax. Yep. Matzi is the local beer brewed from fermented salt rice. Cheap, plentiful, and invigorating, the beverage is very popular, despite its dulling effect of wit and judgment. For the price, folks are willing to feel dumb and weak-willed, so long as they feel really strong. Huh. Okay. The native Comberry wine is locally called Shine. Shine is a strong stimulant, but using it results in impaired judgment. You may gain a lot of endurance, but you won't be very smart. Skooma is an illegal narcotic. Yep. Local Dunmer liquor, Sujamma, is extremely potent, and indulgence results in elevated spirits and diminished mental faculties. Has a kick like a guar, very strong, just as stupid. Welcome, Percent Loxley. Okay. I guess there's a bug as far as my rank. It's supposed to be Toad, I assume. I don't know who's in at the moment, but look around. I'm not the best source for the latest gossip either. Talk to the folks who've been out there. They know what's hot. Good to know. Was that you sniffing, you crazy lady? All right, let's do a new... Okay, 21. What's up, dude? I'm Nellis Onmar. This is the village of Pelagiad, a little piece of the Empire. Looking for someone in particular. Hero cult. Maury's glove. Okay. You have what? How odd. She was a lovely young woman, but what would she want with a rogue like me? She is beautiful though, and seemed sweet. For the first time in my life, I actually felt a little remorse for robbing someone. I should see her again. Here, take this. Tell you have a note from Nellos. I must see her again. I won't forget this, friend. Your journal has been updated. Left glove has been removed. Okay. I'm Nellos. Yes, just tell her you have a note from Nellos. I think she'll be happy with it. Services. Oh, are you part of the Thieves Guild? Thieves Guild is just like any other trade guild, an organization of craftsmen and professionals. Fair enough. Well,
speak, traveler.
Let's check out
Why do you approach?
Let's check out upstairs. Oh, who are you? You're a trainer?
What was that?
Reinforced wooden door.
Strange.
Ah. Rordis. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's... Because trespassing is a fine, right? So you talk to them and they're like, get out of here, and I'm like, got it. I've been wondering about that. You know, like you walk into people's homes and they're like, yeah, let's have a conversation, but... Yep. New around here, huh? I'm Ladia Flarugrius on all of that. She could barter, huh? She must be in the guild. What's the word, Toad Loxley? I have nothing going right now. If you fancy some training, I could use some extra clink. And talk to Anasi. She's new, but she's guild, and she's got the goods. Blades. Wait. We have, yeah. Enchantments. Temple enchanters favor healing and protection spells. Veteran enchanters favor wounding missile loads and shield spells. Plalu like weapon enchantments and various spell rings. Imperials use a wide array... Seems really loud. Imperials use a wide array of weapon and ring damage enchantments, but the masters of enchantment are the Telvanni. They use all effects, often have several combined on one item, but they especially like items that summon creatures or magical weapons and armor. That does seem smart. Right. Okay. Okay. An adventurer should know the basics of Imperial law concerning life and property. Wait, we've read this before. Looking for work? Not much around here. Better head out to one of the towns to the north, Balmor and Aldrune, and try the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild. Or head for the big city, Vivek, to the east. You know, the other thing, like Asher and BB, I mean, we've seen all kinds of caverns named weird long names like that. Doesn't really help me a lot. Hmm. Mercantile, speechcraft, athletics. I probably should, but not at the moment. We haven't even gained a level yet, you know what I mean? So it's at this point. Right, so we could presumably sell stuff. The note. I'm not going to read it, though. I certainly...
Pelagiad has no words for
Sorry,
you.
stranger. My time is short, so get on with it.
Indeed. Alright, well, I could check out the shrine itself. Or, you know, that place, but, I mean, they talk about the Legion in Fort Moonmoth. I wonder if I should go in here. Imperial Archer. Where are you going? Do you not want to talk to me? Dunmer say they hate necromancers, vampires, and all undead, but they guard their tombs with the ghosts and animated spirits of their ancestors. What's the difference? Well, I'm an archer. I'm the kind of fighter who hates getting hurt, so I ambush with my marksman weapons from a distance, then run like crazy when I can and fight with long blades or spears when I must. I prefer spears because they're longer and I keep farther from things trying to hurt me. If that sounds cowardly to you, you better stick with tin suits and fat axes. Well,
Let's hear it.
wow, you spoke. Oh, those are wooden shields? Huh, I thought they were metal. See, they look
Stay out of trouble and you won't get hurt.
They look like metal shields. Do I want to... I don't know if I want to, like, go up there. I kind of want to talk to the
Let's hear it.
dude in charge, you know what I mean? And just be like, hey, can I join the Legion? Oh. Huh, okay. Well... Guard, Captain, we'll
Stay
try...
out of trouble and you won't get hurt.
Yeah, and maybe the whole Imperial... I'm sure they said we had to go to Ebonheart to join the cult, so we should probably do that. Never seen a successful adventurer who didn't carry a couple divine intervention skulls with him on long expeditions. 2 reasons: emergency exit, and lets you move a lot more loot than you can carry on foot, and faster goes without saying. Don't carry those cheap armorer's hammers around with you. Hammers are dead weight. Buy them and use them on the spot. If you're a short blade specialist and you like to travel light, it's often cheaper to own and carry backup weapons. Yeah, that makes sense. Both the Temple and the Empire outlaw Daedra worship and the Nerevarine cult. Alright, well... this door is open. Huh. Oh, Imperial Cult Altar. Okay. I was like, why is there... like make a donation of 25 and receive a blessing? Nah, not at the moment. To the south wall. Oh, hey, you've... Sure. Yeah, okay. Smith and Spearman of the Imperial Legion. Promotions come quickly in the Legion if you don't screw up, and they also hand out some pretty choice armor when you get promoted. Alright. In the Empire, mages may legally purchase corpses and souls for philosophical research, and may do with them as they wish in private. It's pretty gross.
Do not waste my time.
You're a woman. Wow. Oh, this is the healer.
Say your piece or stand aside.
Alright, oh yes, here we go. Blessings of the Nine, Loxley. I'm Yigfa, Fort Pelagiad's healer and an adept of the Imperial Cult. I barter for potions and other goods, can teach a number of spells. All proceeds go to the benefit of the Imperial Cult and its many worthwhile projects. Would you like to join the Imperial Cult? We accept all citizens of good character and earnest faith. We only ask a one-time pledge of 50 drakes to aid us in our good works. Thereafter, the only cost of membership comes when you use our health, healing, and blessing shrines. Modest fees which help us spread the blessings of the Nine to those less fortunate than ourselves. Do you wish to join the cult, or would you rather I review Imperial Cult requirements and doctrines with you before you join? To serve and glorify the Nine Divines, you must cultivate a noble personality and a strong will. Respect the magical arts, especially the colleges of restoration, mysticism, and conjuration. Those who swear to avoid bloodshed, to take the field unarmored, to fight only with blunt weapons, are especially praiseworthy. Knowledge of enchantments and the gift of diplomatic speech are other qualities we look for in our initiates. Our doctrines are simple. We acknowledge the divinity of the Nine Divines, Akatosh, Dibella, Arcais, Xanathar, Mara, Stendar, Kianareth, Julianos, and Tiber Septim. We preach the 9 virtues: humility, inspiration, piety, work, compassion, justice, ambition, learning, and civility. Our Emperor is the defender of the faith, and the Empire is the worldly working of the divine plan. We pledge aid and comfort to all citizens in need, serve the Emperor and Empire at his will. Our rules are equally simple. It is forbidden to attack another person of the Imperial Cult, and of course forbidden to kill another cult member. It is forbidden to steal from another member, whether by open theft or covert pickpocketing. It is forbidden to trespass upon the private property of another member, private property being understood to be anything behind a locked door. Break any one of these rules, you shall be expelled from the cult. Now, Loxley, do you wish to join? I guess so, and then we'll probably get expelled at some point, and that'll be, you know... Okay, you are now a layman in the Imperial cult. Welcome, Loxley, to our community, and you may rejoice in its blessing. Can I tell you about our services? Or, if you can donate more time and effort, would you like to become a lay servant? Let's see, 50 gold has been removed. Journal updated. For my gods, an emperor has been added to your inventory. Journal updated. Let's go down the list. Akatosh, dragon god of time, is the chief deity of the 9 divines. Arche, god of the cycle of life and death, is the deity associated with burials and funeral rites, and is responsible for the progression of the seasons. His priests are staunch opponents of necromancy and all forms of the undead. Dibella, goddess of beauty, is the most popular god of the 9 divines. In Cyrodiil, she has nearly a dozen different cults, some devoted to women, some to artists and aesthetics, others to erotic instruction. Well, yeah. Empire is the greatest achievement in history. Thanks to the Emperor, the legions, and the rule of law, we've had peace and prosperity for centuries. Creature's health is a measure of its capacity to withstand physical punishment. A creature with weak health succumbs easily to disease or injury, while a creature with exceptional health can endure and survive deadly diseases and injuries. In Morrowind, you worry about 3 kinds of disease: common disease, blight disease, and corpus disease. Common disease isn't so bad. You can get cured at shrines or temples easily. But you need to get cured or people don't want to talk to you. Blight disease is more serious, and potions and cures are harder to come by. Corpus disease can't be cured, and some say vampirism is a disease, but the only cure for a vampire is destroying it. Policy on vampires is kill on sight or run on sight. Yeah. Yup. Jesus Christ, there's more. I mean, I'm glad we're getting all these words, but it's like, oh my gosh, so much to read. 4 blight diseases I've seen here in Varnfell are ash... I believe that's pronounced canker. Like a canker sore, that's how that's actually written. Ash canker, cancret, Canthrax, Blackheart, Ash Woe. They're all contracted from blighted creatures or from exposure to blight storms. You don't have to worry about blight storms unless you're entering the Red Mountain region. You need resistance to blight disease protections to go there. Ash Woe is an acute blight disease affecting victims' will and thought processes. It may be contracted from corpus, beasts, or other blighted creatures. Ash Canker is an acute blight disease affecting victims' behavior. It may be contracted from corpus or other blight monsters. Blackheart affects a victim's strength and endurance. Yep. Canthrax affects a victim's dexterity and mobility. Yeah. So corpus beasts can also give you blight diseases as well. They're just dirty, dirty animals. Oh my gosh, so much. So much. I need to take a break after this because my throat's starting to get a little raw. There are 16 common diseases I've encountered in Varnfell: rock joint, hell joint, whipbane, chills, serpiginous dementia, green spore, damp worm, rust canker, droops, ataxia. I think that's a real one, ataxia. Wither, swamp fever, collywobbles, brown rot, yellow tick, rattles. Group their effects in 3 levels: mild, serious, and acute. Serious and acute are more dangerous, of course, but none of them are fatal. But you must get them cured or they weaken you and people won't want to talk to you. Okay. Brown rot is a mild disease affecting the victim's strength and behavior. Symptoms include necrosis and sleeplessness. May be contracted from bone walker, skeleton, greater bone walker, or bone lord. Chill is an extremely dangerous common disease affecting victims' mind and coordination. Symptoms include clumsiness and mental confusion. May be contracted from the bone walker, skeleton, greater bone walker, or bone lord. So undead are pretty dangerous. Many creatures are. Even the mud crab can give you diseases. Collywobbles affects the victim's strength, endurance, and mobility. Symptoms include uncontrollable shaking and chronic weariness. It may be contracted from fiery shock. Corpus is a deadly disease profoundly affecting victims' mind and body. Symptoms include dementia, violent behavior, and distorted, disfiguring skin growths. May be contracted from corpus beasts or other blight monsters. Corpus is a rare form of blight disease. Sometimes crusaders get it from fighting corpus monsters inside the ghost fence. We can't cure it. Victims are sent to the corpusarium beneath Tel Fir, the tower of the Telvanni wizard Devaithfir. Victims go mad, and the body becomes fat and distorted with unnatural growths. It is always fatal. Sometimes it progresses slowly, sometimes in a matter of days. Dampworm is a serious common disease affecting victims' mobility. Symptoms include uncontrollable muscle spasms and twitching. May be contracted from the Nyx Hound. Droops is a serious disease that affects the victim's strength. Symptoms include weak and flaccid muscle tissues. May be contracted from all forms and stages of quama. Oh wow, those guys, huh? Endurance. Did I read this already? Yeah, maybe. Green spores affects the victim's behavior. Symptoms include irritability and violent outbursts. It may include mild dementia. Contracted from slaughterfish. Dude, everything has freaking diseases. Oh no, it was health. Health was what I saw. So, endurance is its property of sustained expenditure of physical energy and resistance to bodily injury. A creature with greater endurance could withstand long periods of physical exertion without suffering from exhaustion, and is less likely to suffer permanent harm or death from disease or physical injuries. Helljoint is a mild disease affecting victims' mobility and dexterity. Symptoms include persistent irritation and inflammation of joints. May be contracted from the girdle-tailed cliff racer. So, regular cliff racers or specific variations? Yegfa the healer sells cure potions. Cure potions remove diseases, harmful conditions. Cure potions include cure poison, cure common disease, cure paralyzation, and blight disease. Yep. You're already a member of the cult. Julianos, god of wisdom and logic, is the deity of literature, law, history, sorcery, enchantment, and alchemy. Monastic orders founded by Tiber Septim and dedicated to Julianos are the keepers of the Elder Scrolls. Kinnereth, goddess of air, is the deity of the heavens, the winds, the elements, and the unseen spirits of the air. Patron of sailors and travelers, Kinnereth is invoked for auspicious stars at birth and for good fortune in daily life. It is not possible to become a priest or concentrated cleric without joining cult orders. You would be forced to devote yourself full-time to the imperial cult, which doesn't suit adventurous people like yourself, but we do need lay servants. Earnest laymen dedicated to serving the Nine for certain unglamorous but spiritually rewarding tasks. At present, we need almoners to serve Zenithar, lay healers to serve Mara, and shrine sergeants to serve Stendar. let's ask about the Shrine Sergeant first, because that sounds like a... Almoner is probably like a... Well, they said get money, so you have to be persuasive. Lay Healers, it's like a mage. Shrine Sergeant's probably like an attacker. Tell me about the Shrine Sergeant. Shrine Sergeant helps keep order at the shrines, carries messages and packages, sometimes escorts priests and lay servants on dangerous missions. This occasional service is ideal for bold, free-spirited adventurers like you. If you're interested, speak to Kay at the Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart. Tell me about the other ones. Gather ingredients for health and healing potions, and minister to the sick and hurt and poor in isolated communities. It is difficult and sometimes dangerous work, but the spiritual rewards are great. If you're interested, speak to Sinilin Tunifus at the Imperial Chapels. Okay, so go to Ebonheart. Almoners gather alms from members and friends of the faith. We depend on donations to fund most of our good works. Almoners who are successful at bringing in generous donations may rise in the ranks of Imperial cult service. If you're interested, speak to Ilis Trupter. Okay. So in the cult, you basically have 3 tasks, 3 roles. Probably go with the Shrine Sergeant. Messages and packages. Although maybe a healer would be fine too. Gather ingredients for health and healing potions. That might be fine. Almoner is not something I want to do. Alright, where was I first? Don't fight when you're tired. Don't try to cast spells when you're tired. Yep, we have fatigue potions. My goodness, look at all of these. Look at all this stuff. Okay, alchemists, apothecaries, healers, as well as general merchants sell commercial potions. These potions are easy and reliable, but costly. If you have training and skill in alchemy and the necessary apparatus and ingredients, you can make your own homemade potions in the field. The 11 kinds of potions are Cure, Restore, Fortify, Resist, Aquatic, Mysticism, Alteration, Illusion, Detect, Shield, and Toxic potions. Dude. Creature's magic has a measure of its reserves of supernatural energies. Spellcasting creatures expend supernatural energies from the reservoirs when they create magical effects. Reservoir is replenished by resting and other arcane methods. Mara, goddess of love, is the mother goddess, the patron of the bountiful earth, and source of moral compassion and understanding. She is associated with Nier of the Anued, the female principle of the cosmos that gave birth to creation. Okay. I'm a healer, and we got martial arts now too. Unarmored martial arts traditions of the Marshmallow, Salt Rice, and Golden Reed Societies of the Distant Priest. Which is what the Tribunal's against right now, I think. Pattern on the Rain of Sand, fighting styles of elsewhere, slow to be adopted in the Empire, associated as they are with the aesthetic renunciation of worldly wealth and material goods, and the rigid disciplines and mystical philosophies so alien to the Imperial West. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is too much. This is seriously too much. I'm so tired. Like, wow. Also, look at that forehead. That's like mine. But you have hair. Okay. Okay. 9 divines. I think we've done that one already. Creature's personality is its property of exciting the emotions of interest, trust, and loyalty in other creatures. For example, a creature with a powerful personality is more able to persuade and influence other creatures through speech, gesture, and demeanor. Okay, we've already looked at the potions. Rattles is a common disease affecting a victim's willpower and dexterity. Symptoms include muscle spasm and listlessness, may be contracted from the Nyx Hound. Our favorite attributes are personality and willpower. Our favorite skills are speechcraft, unarmored restoration, mysticism, conjuration, enchant, and blunt weapon. To advance rank, you must have at least one skill, your highest of our favorite skills, at the required primary skill level for the new rank, and at least 2 skills at the required favored skill level for the new rank. Yeah, I'm not gonna... Personality and willpower, I'm not gonna be very good at this one. Rock joint is a acute common disease affecting victims' manual dexterity. Symptoms include painful swelling and immobility of all joints. May be contracted from the domesticated guar or dusky alit. Rust canker is a common disease affecting victims' mobility and behavior. Symptoms include swelling and rash and painful muscle spasms contracted from the waste rat. Serpiginous dementia is a serious disease affecting victims' mind and behavior. Symptoms include hallucinations and an itching, unsightly, scaly skin condition resembling snake scales. May be contracted from the bull netch and Betty netch. Oh, Bull and Betty. Oh. Healing altar. Did we just get a new one? Okay, well. Okay. Stendar, god of justice and mercy, is the patron of righteous might and merciful forbearance. He is the inspiration of magistrates and rulers, the patron of the imperial legions, and the comfort of the law-abiding citizen. Creature strength is its property of efficiently lifting, carrying, and manipulating objects. A stronger creature can carry a greater weight of armor and equipment, strike more powerful blows with hands and weapons. Swamp fever is a mild disease affecting victims' strength and behavior. Symptoms include high body temperature and delirium. It may be contracted from the mud crab. Tiber Septim, Talos, the Dragonborn, heir to the seat of Sundered Kings, is the greatest hero god of mankind and worshipped as the protector and patron of just rulership and civil society. I've heard some say the vampirism is a disease. No temple or cult has ever been able to cure it, and I've never heard of a mage's spell that could cure it, but I admit I've never encountered a vampire, never thought about how to treat one. I think I'd be more worried about getting away from one than curing it. I don't know how it is in the rest of the Empire, but here, we know vampires are terribly dangerous and evil, and we'd destroy them on sight if we could. Creature's willpower is its property of maintaining its purpose and identity in the face of hardship and malign natural and supernatural forces. Creature with strong willpower is better able to resist effects of hostile spells cast upon it. Whitbane is an acute disease affecting victims' memory and thought processes. Symptoms include loss of memory and disorientation, may be contracted from the rat. Wither is a mild common disease affecting victims' strength and endurance. Symptoms include loss of energy and shortness of breath, contracted from Droof. Drew. Yellow Tech is a mild disease affecting strength and mobility. Symptoms include dark bruise-like swelling. Sensitive to touch, may be contracted from the least Kaguti. Zenithar, trader god, patron of work and commerce, is the deity of wealth, labor, commerce, and communication. His priests have shown that the way to peace and prosperity is through earnest work and honest profit, not through war and bloodshed. Okay, I have to stop. Even though there's way more to read, there's like potions and stuff, and I think she gave us a book. Because I'm worn out. And you don't even have a name that's normal. Okay, well, we're part of the Imperial cult now, so we're now part of, what is that, 7 things? I mean, realistically, if we get better at the Fighters Guild and maybe the Thieves Guild, I'm happy. You know, I don't... Reputation's still 0, but that's probably because you need better... That's probably like story quests or something, I don't know. I vaguely remember Oblivion having something like that, and you had to do... I don't remember. Are all of those from running? Athletics. No, 2 unarmored. So everything is speed. And some strength. And some other stuff. The occasional other thing, but yeah. Well, probably... Okay, so we'll stop here. Next time we'll ask her about all the potions and stuff. Oh yeah, we gotta turn that in too. We gotta go to the lady, give her the note. Overwrite save game, yes. We We gotta give the crazy lady... Well, she's not crazy. She's just in love. We have to unite the lovers. Gotta talk to her about all the other potions. Talk to her, reunite the lovers. There was maybe a book. Read that book maybe. Go back to Balmora. Turn in that Mages Guild quest. I don't know if we want to go to Ebonheart and become a someone in and go for the sergeant, become a sergeant of the cult. I don't know. I don't know, dude. What I do know is I'm tired and my throat is raw. Because I mean, I love this game. And I'm glad I'm doing it for the channel, because I might have gotten bored by now or something. Like, when I'm playing games on my own, sometimes I get distracted or whatever, but there's so much reading, and my throat, this is the 5th episode today, it's pretty raw, because I'm just talking like the whole time. And that's hard, especially when it feels like I have allergies. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. As always, guys, questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or indifferent, let me hear them. I do read all of them, or at least I try to. I do try and respond to all of them as well. What's your guys' unique positive moment for today? My goodness, I didn't even... I usually try and have one prepared, but I didn't at the moment. But Manny was super cute earlier. He was like meowing a lot, and he wanted to be held and stuff, and so that was really nice, and I liked that. But that's my unique positive moment. Hopefully your guys are just as good, if not better. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. So then, guys, take care.